Hello there and welcome to your chess lessons. Firstly, we shall start with the introduction of chess and the board. Chess was developed in India, and from India it traveled to other countries, from where it got its name of king, queen, bishop and the various names of the pieces. All the internationally followed rules will be discussed during these classes. Firstly, let us start with the board. The board contains 64 squares, in which 32 are dark color and 32 are light color squares. During our discussions, we will be calling the dark color squares as black and these squares as white. Now, on the chessboard, as you may see, there are 8 straight lines and 8 horizontal lines. These straight lines are called files. So this one with the alphabet A written here is called the A file. This one is the B, this one C, this one D. Similarly, we have files till the H file. So the straight ones are called the files. There are total 8 files on the chessboard. And now we shall go with the horizontal lines. This one which are numbered here is called the ranks. So this is the first rank. Similarly, we have second rank, the same way third, fourth, fifth and till the 8th rank. So there are total 8 ranks on the chessboard. Now we shall go with the names of the pieces. Now here you can see there are pieces placed on the chessboard. The white pieces are kept here so that you can easily understand the names. This one is called the king, with a crown here with cross is called the king. This one with a circular crown is called the queen. This one is the rook. This piece which looks like a horse is called the knight, and this one with a slim piece is called the bishop. And lastly, the smallest one which is here is called the pawn. So these are the names of the pieces. We shall repeat again: king, queen, rook, bishop, knight, bishop and pawn. Now we shall learn how to set the pieces. Now the pieces are set in such a way on the 2 lines of the board. Firstly, we shall start with the placement of the rooks. The rooks are kept on the 2 corners of the board on the white side, and the black side, the black rooks will be kept here. Then we have second the knights. Knights will always come beside the rooks. Then we have the bishops. Beside the knights we will have the bishops. Here white bishops and here the black bishops. Then we have the white queen in the white color, and similarly opposite there we have black queen in black color. The last square which is left is given to the king. So white king will always come in the black color and black king in the white color at the start of the game. Now on the second rank, the pawns are kept, the 8 pawns, white's 8 pawn, and the similar way black's 8 pawns will be kept on the 7th rank. So here it is, and we have set the board here, and now we can start learning the names and movements of the pieces again. Here we are, these were the pieces. Now we shall go with the rook. The rook is the simplest piece on the board. Just the movement is restricted only to the straight lines. Now as you see, up, down, left and right. So it moves like the directions, 4 directions of the board. And if any of the other color pieces, like the black color pieces in this case, comes in the same line, then the rook can simply capture it, and the rook cannot jump over the pieces. This rule applies to all other pieces except the knight. So here a rook can simply take the knight by moving here, and the knight is removed and kept outside the board. So here we have seen that the knight has been captured by the rook here. So rook movement, straight line. Now we shall come to the bishop movement. Here the bishop is kept here in the center of the board. The bishop is traveling along the diagonals or the cross lines. Here you can see that bishop is going here along the cross lines. And now we will see that the bishop cannot jump from here to here. The bishop's movement is restricted only till here. And here you see the bishop has captured the knight. Since the knight was in the bishop's line, so bishop simply took the knight on the b2. Now same way, this knight of white color is also here, but this bishop is of white color and it cannot capture the white color. The same color pieces are friends, so they won't capture each other. So this bishop can capture the knight on b2 or this black knight. Now we come to the queen movement. Queen is a mixture of king and rook. That means queen can go in straight line like this, up, down, left, right, and also the cross lines. So you can say the queen goes in almost all the directions that are there, that is the 8 directions. Now if some opponent's piece, that means for the white queen, if the black pieces come in that line, like for example this queen can capture this pawn because it's coming in that line. So this queen will simply go there, and we have removed the pawn and kept it outside. So this is capturing with the queen. In a similar way, in this position, even the black queen can capture the white pawn here. For example, see this position, the white pawn is in the black line, so he can simply take that pawn and remove it. So queen movement is over. We shall go for the next, the knight. The knight resembles a horse, and it is the only piece which can jump over the pieces. Here the knight movement is little tricky here, but we can learn it by practice. The knight moves in L shapes, or you can say it moves 2.5. Now for example, this knight white movement in 4 directions, it will go in L shapes. This is the one direction, so you can move L shape here. So this resembles an L here. Similarly, you can do the L in the opposite direction. So the knight can jump from here to here directly, even if the pieces are there on the middle of the way. It can jump and go directly to the L shapes. Now for example, this knight can go from here to here and from here to here also. The same way, as we can see, the knight can go in this direction, forming the 2 L's here, and also in this direction, forming the 2 L's. The knight is the only piece which can jump over the pieces. For example, if we set another few pieces on the way, like a few pawns here, the knight can jump directly from here and simply take this pawn on c6 by jumping over these pawns. So knight is the only piece which can jump over the pieces. Now we come to the pawn movement. The pawn is the simplest, shortest piece on the board, but it is having some difficult movements, like it moves only along the forward direction. Now you see here, this pawn can move 1 or 2 steps in the forward direction when it is playing from second line. All the pawns can move 2 steps from the second line. Now black's pawns will be in this line, 7th rank. From there they can move 2 steps. Now for example, this pawn can, if it want, can make 1 move or can move 2 steps. But this pawn on this line c4 can only go 1 step ahead, and this pawn cannot move ahead because there is a blocking pawn in front of it. The pawns capture in diagonal, 1 step cross. Here for example, if something was there on these lines, this pawn could have captured, but since there is nothing here, this pawn will remain as it is here only until this pawn clears from here. But see example, this pawn can capture this pawn because it comes along the cross lines. So this pawn will simply remove the pawn here. Similarly, since black is moving towards the downward side, black goes along these directions. So black can simply take out this pawn like this. And here you see white also. Here this pawn cannot capture this pawn, but this pawn can take this pawn by moving one step cross. So this is regarding the movements of the pawn. So we have completed the movements of the pieces today, and again we shall deal with some special movements which are there in game of chess.